This is the Say It Can't Gamer, and you are live with the MMA Holes!
Mixed Martial A-Holes! MMA Holes, MMA Holes, MMA Holes, MMA Holes, MMA Holes. You like to be a mixed martial A-hole. MMA holes, MMA holes, MMA holes, MMA holes, MMA holes.
Boom, 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 boom.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, UFC 231 recap. Holloway knocks out Ortega. Iaquinta versus Lee Fight Week. Bellator Fight Week MMA news with the MMA Wonderful, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Monday, and it is the MMA Holes Hour. Welcome to the show, the beginning of the week. Well, the first day is over, right? Everyone is done with their jobs, work, or whatever the fuck they're doing. It's Monday night over here. I don't know what time it is by you, but I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful day. Or if you're starting your day, I hope you're starting your wonderful, wonderful day. A big weekend of fights. UFC 231 was banging. That card, top to bottom, was fantaculous. It was a fantaculous card.
Yeah.
It was so good you merged the words. That's how good it was.
Fantaculous.
One of the best cards of the year. So much fun. And well, let's talk about it tonight. A big fight at top of the card was Max Holloway versus Ortega. A lot of things to talk about that. Man, brutal. That's one thing that comes to mind. Or ouch, like the thumbnail. An ouch, ouch, ouch. A schooling of the taco train. Max Holloway gets it done very confidently, and there's a doctor stoppage, like I predicted. Ortega
You did predict it.
did not get off the stool, and he wanted to. He had a broken nose. He broke his thumb, and Ortega said he would die inside the octagon.
Yes.
And, yeah, thank God they stopped that fight because he was not slowing down. Ortega was just, he kept coming. That was one thing about it. Like, you can always say with these fighters, the toughness, the toughness, the toughness. This is an instance where you can't get any tougher than Brian Ortega. This guy did not want to lose. There's a reason why he has an unblemished record, because this guy does not stop. Max Holloway was just teeing off on him. The amount of strikes that was thrown and landed was record-breaking. Max Holloway looked the best he's ever looked. But Jessie, without gloating too much, I have to say this. Saturday was a perfect display of mysticalness. Perfect. Now, I got 5 out of my 6 picks right, but I don't like to brag about those things.
No, because Mystic Moss
like to
never
brag too much.
brags.
What I like to brag about is this. Every once in a while, I throw it out there and I say there is a guaranteed lock.
Okay.
I say, bet the kids, bet the house, bet everything, because something looks so clear to me.
Yeah.
And that fight was probably one of the easiest fights for me to pick ever.
Right.
Ever. Very clearly looked at this thing, unclouded. My judgment was precise. And I said all week long, I was saying to everyone, what are you thinking? Why would you pick Ortega? Now, I understand why you picked Ortega. I get it.
Yes.
You are a fan of Ortega. And a lot of times,
not just being a fan. I genuinely thought he stood a chance. And he fucking took it.
He did. And
he took it.
There were some instances in that fight that a lot of people aren't talking about. There were moments in this fight which made this fight so great. Is Ortega's jiu-jitsu is fantaculous.
Fantaculous.
I'm just going to keep on using that word.
Yeah.
We make up words here on the MMA Holes.
Yeah.
But the threat of that made it more exciting. Ortega, there were certain times in the fight where you're like, holy fuck, is Ortega he's going to pull something off? Is he going to choke him? Max got a little loose out there, got a little sloppy out there, and Ortega looked like he was going to capitalize on it. Luckily, Max was able to slip out of certain situations, and on the feet, I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
He just unloaded on Ortega's face. We're going to show the picture over here, and yeah, I mean, just mutilated Ortega. Now, Jessie, I need you to look into this chat room and tell me what goes through your mind afterwards. I mean, you were literally speechless during that fight. But what now that it's processed,
Yes.
how does it register?
I am not disappointed with my pick. I will never go back and say I shouldn't have picked Ortega. There were a lot of fights in the past where I look at it afterward and I'm like, why did I pick him? Why did I do that? But with Ortega, I still can't do that. I still can't go back and be like, oh, I should have picked Max. Because, like you said, there were moments in that fight that Ortega could have, potentially taken some sort of advantage. Now, he didn't, and you predicted it and a lot of other people predicted it. But I can't go back on it. I'm disappointed with the results, but at the same time, I'm not disappointed because he fucking stood in there and he took it like a fucking champ. And I don't think this is the end of Ortega. Yes, there's a whole hype train around him and everything, but look at his record up until Max Holloway. The dude is a fucking good. He's an amazing fighter. So yeah, he lost to Max Holloway, but Max Holloway's a beast. So I'm not going to keep riding on a hype train, but there will be moments in the future that I will pick Ortega again.
You see this a lot, and especially lately. You see these fighters that the UFC is really pumping up, have a lot of potential. You see the Adesanyas, the Tills. You see these guys just charging up the rankings. They want that next Conor McGregor. They want that next person to just explode and be their big cash grab. Get in, just suck the money out of the fighter, and then disregard them and move on to the next hype train, right? And Ortega has the look, he has the style, he could finish you, knocking you out, he could submit you. But like I said during the week, if you look at Ortega's resume and you look who he fought, and then watching back that Cub Swanson fight, there were a lot of holes in Ortega's game, and his stand-up toughness sometimes can win fights, but when you fight a guy like Max Holloway, it's a whole different story. Yeah. Now, Max Holloway, there's a lot of people talking about, is he the greatest of all time? And listen, we can't even say that right now. We can't. I know he's on this fantastic win streak. The guy has defended his belt. He beat Aldo twice. Aldo is the GOAT of 145, but he gets knocked out 13 seconds by McGregor. Holloway pieces him up 2 times. Aldo still looks like he has it, the Jeremy Stevens thing. Frankie Edgar can't get past him. But there is a new sheriff in town, and it's Max Holloway. Does Max Holloway stay at 145 or does he move to 155? Right off the bat, Frankie Edgar is calling out Max Holloway and says, let's make this fight happen, the fight that was supposed to happen. Now, this is interesting to me. I still got to go Maxi Boy. What is also interesting is why isn't Frankie Edgar just throwing it out there like, yo, give me Ortega again. Give me that fight again. I want that back.
We will find out.
And I feel that's going to be the fight that happens again. I don't think Frankie will be fighting Holloway. I really believe Max will be moving up. Yeah, I really think that's what's going to happen. I wish Max could stay there and just kind of just sit on that throne and just take care of that. I mean, he pretty much did take care of the 145-pound weight class. So he really doesn't have much to prove. But it would be fun to see him at 27 years old sit on top and just fucking own that throne and just be that GOAT. But at 27... there's a chance to make some big money. He's going to go up. He's going to go up to 155 most likely and do what he's got to do over there. And it sucks because there's a lot of danger at 155. Look at Conor McGregor. He goes up. He wins the belt. Gets that payday. But there's a lot of danger. Khabib, the Fergusons, the Kevin Lees. These are fighters that are very dangerous. And I tell you, Max doesn't beat Khabib. I don't give a fuck what any of you say. Now, I am on the Max hype train. At 145, Max is a fucking boss. But against Khabib, this is apples and oranges here. This is apples and oranges. And even a Tony Ferguson, which is a fantastic one to even think about, that's a tough fucking fight for Maxie over there. So it's going to be interesting. Now the question is this. Ortega. What is next for Ortega? I have a feeling we're going to see a vacated belt. I have a feeling that something's going to happen here, and I think a Frankie Edgar versus Ortega rematch is something that we're going to be looking at. I really believe that's what's going to happen.
I don't know
what do you think
about that. Well, I do have some news topics on the whole Frankie Edgar. I actually have news topics on all of them, so I don't want to say what I think about anything until after we get through those, but I'll just say I don't know about that. I don't know. It's possible. It's not impossible, but
Frankie's not going anywhere. I mean, what sucks about Frankie is you never know if he can fight.
Yeah.
You know, you never know with the guy. He's getting older. What is he, 38, I think, or 37, or I don't know. He's in his later 30s, and he's been around. You know, he's been in some wars, and then he gets he gets knocked out viciously, comes back, redeems himself against Cub, which was kind of a tune-up, really. But Frankie's still there. Like, he's not going anywhere, and he's hungry. He wants that fucking title again. So I see that fight happening. I see Ortega-Frankie rematch. There's a lot of things that can happen. Yeah. Hopefully Max stays at 145 and just kind of gets the Frankie fight, gets these other fights, just kind of touches up that division a little bit and then bounces. But I see 155. Let me know in the chat what you all think right now. It's the MMA Holes Hour. It's good to see everyone here tonight. Now, I just want to say a quick thank you to the patrons. Saturday night, a record night for us. We had 11 new patrons. So shout out to the newbies, the new patrons that jumped aboard that are in our Discord. Much respect to the new and old people over there. You are wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
If you want to join that little community, it's Patreon. What's it? Well, the link's in the description.
Patreon.com/the MMA-HOLES.
That's it. Just go to Patreon and just type in the MMA Holes, and there we are. Or you can go to our website, themmaholes.com. Thank you very much for that. Jess, in the chat, I want everyone to bow to my mysticalness right now. Let me know what's next for Ortega and what is next for Holloway. 20 likes.
20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes, 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. 20 likes. 20 likes. I've got fucking 20 likes. I hope the dislikes die of leprosy.
I see right off the bat Brian Blaze saying the Conor train crashed and burned. I
don't believe it.
He couldn't be so far from the truth. Like, if the one thing you could say about Conor is this. Yeah. He's taken the risk. You know, everyone's like, oh, he had Dennis Seaver on the way up and, you know, look his way to the title. I mean, he knocked out Aldo in 13 seconds, the greatest 145er of all time, then goes up and fucking manhandles Eddie Alvarez at 155. Those two fights right there solidify it. He lost to Diaz on a 170 fight, comes back and wins a tight rematch, very close one over there. I mean, then loses to Floyd Mayweather and loses to Khabib. Khabib could arguably be the pound-for-pound greatest. Khabib is not losing anytime soon. And then you have Floyd Mayweather, the greatest boxer of all time. The stupidity is real. It is real, but I still love you. All right, what's going on in this chat?
Jason Beck says 20 likes.
20 likes.
Post-resurrected, Ortega comes out the closet. Doug McGuire says up next or Ortega, plastic surgery. Hussein Ali says talk about Zabit versus Max and Zabit versus Ortega.
Listen, guys. These fucking hype trains, let them mature. Let Zabit mature.
I'm starting to. I'll have to give you this. I'm starting to finally, after all of this time of being on hype train after hype train, I'm starting to more lean towards your way of thinking, where it's just
what's the rush?
Let the hype train run its course and then ridiculous. Pay attention to them. You know, it's the same thing with Israel Adesanya. Now, of course, I'm still gonna pick him against Anderson Silva. But not for the hype train reason. I'm getting to a point now where even the hype trains are starting to drive me nuts. Like, listen, the Silva, I'm wrong every time. If
Adesanya, now picking Anderson Silva in that fight that would be a tough one for me. Yeah. That would be a real tough one for me. The way Adesanya looks, Anderson Silva is 43 years old. Yeah. But you never know. You never fucking know. I think it's the perfect fight for Adesanya. I really do at this moment. I do feel that. I see in the chat, explain what Patreon is. Patreon is, it's very simple.
I got this.
Go ahead. Go for it, Jesse. Explain it.
If you go down to the description below, there is a link for patreon.com/themmaholes. On Patreon for the MMA Holes.
All right, just explain it for real because
there are a few tiers there that you can actually sign up for, and it's however much you want. But for as low as $2 a month, you can sign up, support the MMA Holes, and join our private Discord chat where we provide much fun and entertainment and involvement and socializing with not only the hosts, but other swole members of the MMA Holes community.
Yeah, just check it out. We have a bunch of packages over there. It's super simple, super easy. It's just a monthly thing, like $2, $1 a month. $2, you get right into the Discord. And it helps. Each patron helps. And when we get to 150 patrons, we will do a Times Square dance.
Yeah, I know, Mad Pickin'. He should have kept it rolling, but...
Yeah. Nah, fuck that.
I was getting into it.
We have an hour show, for God's sake.
I was like dancing and... He burst my bubble once again.
If you want to support the fucking show, you just go over to Patreon. Thank you very much. All right.
Hussein Ali. That is my real hair.
Let's see what else we have in the chat over here.
All right. Matt. Oh, Hussein Ali. JBH, is that your real hair color? Absolutely. Greg on Blaze says, does Jessie put nudes in Patreon all the time? Mr. Iron Hex says, I want Anderson to beat Adesanya, but it is more realistic that Adesanya will win. Agreed. Stewie Motherfucker Griffin says, MMA holes always taking L's. Or is Stewie always taking L's?
Stewie is back in the chat? Oh my God. By the way, the Dahmer thing was hysterical. I'll give you that. I watched it twice. He's something else.
Yeah.
He's like, man, if anyone wants to sponsor us.
Stop disagreeing, express.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Uh-oh, Johnny Boombots.
I like Max, but he gets dominated by any wrestler at 155. Ferguson, Lee, Khabib all dice him up. Conor will never touch a UFC belt again. Ferguson, Lee, Khabib manhandle him. Even Max at 155 handles McTapper. Real Twitter showing his MMA whole dog.
That's a fascinating fight, though.
I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch. Conor will never touch a UFC belt again. Ferguson, Lee, Khabib manhandle him.
Here's the thing with the Conor never touches a UFC belt again. Conor has that secret ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like one win away from always getting himself back in the mix.
Yeah.
So, you know, if he goes on a major losing streak, no, he's not going to get that pass to the belt. But he's Conor, right? He's the exception to a lot of these fucking rules. That's why everyone's like, oh my God, why do you like Conor?
Do you think that maybe that wasn't just ring rust, that he doesn't have his head as into the game now because he has all the money in the world? He doesn't really need to fight for money anymore?
I honestly believe that I think he's taking it serious, but he is partying a little bit too much. I do feel that is a problem. I do have
an article tonight on John Kavanagh saying that he would have to be convinced to fight or to train Conor again, which says something.
John Kavanagh, that's like a big loss for Conor right there.
Well,
right?
it's like, listen, it might not be a huge loss for Conor, but you got to think about it. Why would a trainer have to say he'd have to be convinced?
Yeah, because Conor is probably partying way too much. He probably has gone a little bit overboard with his partying, and I mean, the fucking guy just turned 30 years old. He has more money than the entire chat room, the MMA holes, which we are worth a lot of money. So I mean, that's a stretch right there. But yeah, I mean, he's got to pull his shit together. And I mean, back-to-back losses against Floyd Mayweather and Khabib Nurmagomedov. I mean, okay, it's time to fucking pull it together. You know, if you're gonna take on that caliber of fighter, you better fucking pull your shit together. So it's interesting. It's an interesting thing there. I do like Conor Max too. I like that a lot at 155. A lot. It's fascinating to me because now you got Max on a tear, looking unbeatable.
He's looking good.
Conor just beat him by a decision.
Yeah.
Right? So, and Conor did get hurt that fight. You know, Maxie is a better fighter now. He was young. Max was a baby then.
Yeah.
Max is only 27 now. He's like in his prime. Conor is on this little downslide with his binges and shit like that. It is fire to me. Max Conor now is a fire fight. I love it. Absolutely love this fight. The question is it a moneymaker? That I'm curious about. I mean,
is
Max
any
Holloway
Conor fight is a moneymaker?
Yeah, but Conor needs a dance partner too. You know, I mean, he wants to get paid.
Max Holloway is a pretty good dance partner, if you ask me.
I think Max. Well, this is the question that I'm going to pose to the chat. Is he like? Look at Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson's a beast, and he gets no fucking pay-per-view love. He gets no one that wants to show up to his fights, and the guy's probably the best at 155. I mean, arguably the best at 155. Now, Max might be a little bit of a different story. He's a little bit more likable. He's on a legendary streak over here. I guess they can sell him a little bit better than Tony. I think I can see it a little bit better. He's got the little cringy kid that dances. He's got a little puppet that dances around with him. So maybe he can be a moneymaker. I don't know. Let me know in the chat. What do you think about that? Max Holloway, can he be that money? Could he be that money grab for the UFC? Is he the guy? I'm not sold yet on that. Do I want to see him fight? Of course. I mean, I want to see him fight just as much as I want to see any of the other top guys fight.
Yeah.
I just don't know if he's quite the money grab yet. I don't know. Now, you know, the dance partner with Ortega, you know, I'm curious how they did with the pay-per-views. We got to look at those numbers. But let me know in the chat what you all think. Max Holloway, Conor McGregor.
Daniel R says, look, LOL, Fook the Sanders. Pulse Resurrected says, Conor to WWE 205 live. A9 Jewel. Nate Diaz versus Max Holloway would be a great fight. Hussein Ali says,
that would be a good fight. That would. But it just doesn't make sense for Max, in my opinion. I mean, unless Max wants to get paid, and he wants to fight a lower ranked guy to get his feet wet, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know if, I mean, it's a fun fight to watch, but I don't know if it makes sense for Max.
Gay agent says Max has money when he's performing in the shower, in a cage, in bed, etc.
Whoa, hey.
Wonderful, wonderful.
The sound effect gets stuck.
Drunk Savage says, "Fook it, do it, do it." Brian Blaze says Ferguson versus Max would be fooking insane. Michael Anzalone, definitely a moneymaker. Jason Beck says, "I like Tony as a personality way better. Cocky, crazy fucker." Hussein Ali says Artem versus Connor, who wins?
Oh, come on, Artem all day. I mean, right? We got Artem in the corner over there. Look at it. It's fucking magnificent.
CBD.
We got some CBD coming
CBD.
in. Welfare check McTapper.
CBD.
Has just donated it.
CBD. CBD. CBD.
CBD.
CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD. CBD.
CBD.
CBD. CBD. It helps with healing process and inflammation and stuff like that. So you wanted to get these for before, after the fights, training, and make your life a better place.
All right, let's see what he got to say here.
Real men don't take welfare checks. They work. McTapper, young single, welfare check to train FT. Pure trash. Has a baby yet isn't married. Cheating on his wife. Blowing coke broke bus. He's an Irish bum. No more motivation when worth 100 mil.
All right. So I'm assuming you're not going to watch his next
He
fight.
doesn't
I think that's what you're saying?
he has another baby on the way too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got two out of him.
Yeah.
I mean, D's his baby mill. I don't know. Who gives a fuck? I don't give a fuck what he does in his personal life. As long as he's not, listen, as long as he's not running over pregnant women or, you know, like.
Well, in fairness.
He almost killed somebody. He did do that.
How did
The
he
hand
almost-
truck.
Oh, yeah.
He almost killed Michael Chiesa, but that was a service.
Did
That was
he
a
really?
service
It
to
was
the
just a
community.
little cut on his head.
By the
but-
way, where's Rose Namajunas? Where the fuck is she?
She did. Well, that's what they were saying, was that she hasn't defended her title in 7 months, and that was last month. So now 8 months she hasn't defended her title,
fuck?
and nobody's saying anything. Even Dana White, he's not like, "Oh, you have to defend." Nobody's fucking saying anything.
Where the hell's Rose?
8 months.
Why is she getting away with this?
I don't.
What's going on
You're
here?
asking the wrong person. I have no. I've tried to think it in my head, like what could be the reasoning for this. She might be pregnant. I don't fucking know.
I don't think she can get pregnant. Is she like an alien or something like that? That gets beaten up by her
Yeah.
husband. All right. Yeah. Anyone know where the Rose is? Where's
She's
the
going
Rose?
under the radar, says Vlad.
The fuck is she?
Rose is in Greg Odom Blaze's basement.
No, seriously. Like, no one talks about her.
Rose still has PTSD from the bus. Well,
Is that what it
she
is, the
could
PTSD?
Listen, she could claim it that she has PTSD from the bus incident, and for that reason, because some people, they never get over PTSD.
Yeah.
And they could easily say, "Oh, you know,
So
don't
bizarre.
worry
I don't
about
believe
it."
I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all. By the way, we are going for an hour tonight. We have saved the show within 5 minutes left in the show. This is what I want. I have a lot of energy in me tonight. We have some news stories. I want to go for the long haul. So when the 5 minutes are in, if you save the show, you'll drop a serious donation over there, and let's fucking make this thing nice and long. What do you think, Jesse? What do you think? What do you think, chat room? Let's make this a long Monday night because I have some fucking fire in my nutsack. We'll take
That's
some
gross.
phone calls. And what?
That doesn't sound healthy.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Jesse, where is the news? Let's get to the news.
Time to fap, the news is back.
It's time to fap. The news is back.
Time to fap, the news is back. Time to fap, the news is back. Time to fap, the news is back. Time to fap, the news is back. JBH was in the news.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Jesse, we can't play the whole song. It's a short night. Brian Ortega, let's talk about him. T-City.
Brian Ortega releases a statement on doctor stoppage at UFC 231, according to MMA Mania. Brian T-City posted on Instagram today a picture of himself, his beaten up face,
All
after
right,
the
so let's
doctor
go look at it.
stoppage.
It's a beautiful thing.
The caption said, quote, "Doctor stopped it and I agree. Broken nose and a broken thumb. I was willing to die in there. Last night was Max's night. I'll be back. Thank you to everyone who's always believed in me and supported me."
This must have been devastating for him. I mean, he seemed super confident going into this fight. And goddamn.
There's also a quote from his coach, Gracie, who said, When we arrived at the hospital, the first thing you said was, "I'm sorry. My brother, you have nothing to be sorry about. You came from nothing and you competed on the highest level against one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. For 4 rounds, you took his best shots, but you never went down and you never stopped firing back. The heart you displayed last night could never be taught, and I've never been so proud to be your coach, your friend, and your fan. You didn't fail, Max prevailed. And if it was ever possible to win in defeat, you did it last night. I love you, bro."
How the fuck? Oh, Vlad coming in.
You can't stop
Choo
the
choo.
Siberian Express. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Damn riffraff got pieced up. Good stoppage.
Yeah.
He'll learn from this and come back a better fighter.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's 27 years
100%
old.
agreed.
You know, this is his 6th or 7th UFC fight. You know, you learn your lesson. You learn how to fucking you learn head movement, Jesse, right?
Head movement.
You learn to not take punches. He did a good impression of Artem Lobov on very good, but Artem never been stopped. That's the only thing. I mean, well, maybe he has. But yeah, I don't know. T-City, the one thing I don't understand is how is he the favorite in this fight? I still can't wrap my head around that.
I think
such a slap in the fucking face.
it is, but honestly, I'd have to say I think his record is obviously a huge factor. I think anyone can agree to that. But the fact that all of his UFC finishes, they were all finished.
But if you look at his record versus Holloway's, I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, listen,
because Holloway had a headache.
I think it had to do with the hype train, the fact that everybody thought that he was this new up and coming champ. You know, like there's a lot of factors at play, but I could see why they made him the favorite.
I don't at all. I honestly, it didn't make any sense. It really, I just couldn't even wrap my fucking head around it. It really was one of the marvels of the UFC. I just can't.
John Savage thinks Mac's health problems was the reason, in his opinion.
Well, it all goes down to what people are betting on. There were a lot of people betting on. I mean, they were all worried about the health thing, but he looked fine.
He looked great. He looked
like no before the fight. I'm talking about like he wasn't slurring his speech. See, here's the thing.
That's what they were saying at the weigh-ins. Was someone said that he looked like a vintage Max Holloway.
Well, here's the thing. He's dopey as is. That's the problem. You know, like his one-liners are so weird. Like this whole the island shit that he talks about, and then his son with his autistic dance. Like the whole thing is there's a couple of screws loose with the Holloways.
Yeah,
seem like big sweethearts, complete sweethearts. The guys. I would love to hang out with Max Holloway. Looks like a great guy, but he doesn't seem like he's all up there, right? He just doesn't see. It is what it is, and he keeps repeating himself every 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah,
it is what time is it? What best express? Like that's how he talks. But everyone's like, he sounds like a fucking retard.
Well, he does.
Like he sounds like I don't know. He's got CT and he's all fucked up in the head. No, he's just like that's him. It's not. I want cupcakes. West Express is pulling up with my cupcakes. That's what he sounds like. That's how he sounds. But everyone's like, oh my god, he sounds retarded. Pick the other guy.
Wonderful.
So ridiculous. He is a retarded badass.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, what else do we have in the news?
According to BJPenn.com, John Kavanagh will have to be convinced to train Conor McGregor for another fight. SBG Ireland coach John Kavanagh isn't sure if his star pupil Conor McGregor will fight again. If the Irish MMA superstar does elect to fight again, however, Kavanagh will have to be convinced to train him for the bout. John Kavanagh explains why he feels this way in a recent interview with the Irish Independent, saying, quote, "Honestly, I don't know. Will he fight again? I don't know. I know him as a person, and I know that coming off 2 losses, even though he was boxing, will be hard for him. Or even though one was boxing, will be hard for him."
By the way, can we just talk about this picture over here? The picture, it looks like an after-school special. It looks like Kavanagh is walking up to Conor. He's like, "Conor, did you fuck my wife?" Right? Isn't that what the picture looks like right there? As he's looking, Conor's like looking down all sad, and Kavanagh's like, "Conor, did you fuck my wife?" And Conor's like, "Yes, sir." Right? Don't you see that in this picture?
No, I didn't even think about it.
No?
No.
You don't think he said that in this picture? I have a feeling. It does look like that. The after-school special where Conor fucks Kavanagh's wife. No?
No.
Okay. All right, tell me more.
He said, "I know him as a person and know that coming off 2 losses, even though one was boxing, will be hard for him. But he's 32 kids and has a big whiskey deal that's making him more money than fighting ever did. Would you get up in the morning to be punched in the face? I don't think so. But he'll probably call me tomorrow and say, 'What did you say that for? I'm fighting in March, so I don't know.' He would certainly have to convince me to go again. Yeah, I love him. I love the whole journey we've had, but I need a good why. It might be Nate Diaz again because he promised that fight. It might be a rematch with Khabib Nurmagomedov. But if it was just, well, they want me to fight that guy, I think I'd say I wish you the best. He has a wife and 2 kids, and I don't want him taking more hits than he needs to. Khabib hit him with a punch in that fight that he has never been hit with in his career, and even Superman slows down at some stage.
Sounds like there's a... Where would you like to see... Let me know in the chat. Where would you like to see Conor go train? Could you imagine, like, he goes to one of these big gyms or something like that, leaves SBG? Like, that would be interesting stuff. He always preached throughout his career that he'd stay loyal to his gym and blah, 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 blah. He's off a couple of losses over here. One is in boxing, so I mean, I guess you can... What are you going to do about that? But the whole Khabib thing, maybe they've had enough of the antics. But then they have Dillon Danis over there. It's kind of like... what the fuck? Maybe Conor wants to get away from Dillon Danis. I don't know.
Dillon Danis has an article tonight as well. Yep.
I'm curious in the chat. Where do you think Conor McGregor should go? What gym should he train at? Go to AKA? What do you think? Jackson Wink would be a perfect fit with John Jones. Conor and Jones. What do you guys say in the chat?
Joel Miller says, I'm a huge McGregor fan, but I think he peaked already. A9 Joel WWE. Pulse Resurrected says, Van. Kevin from Chicago says his ego couldn't handle training at an American top team type gym. Love you, JBH and Chris says, 2 joints, we love you. Gay Agent says, I would like to see Conor train at Jackson Winklejohn. They could double team him into a string of submissions.
I tell you, I tell you, like an AKA gym would be fascinating to me. You know, get that grind going, work that grind. But you don't think Khabib and Conor would be training at the same gym? That's an impossibility. So someone with a grappling background would be nice. I don't know about the jiu-jitsu shit, man. I like that. I like this whole wrestling phase that we're seeing right now. I really like it. I love the strength of wrestling right now. You got the Kamaru Usmans, just that powerful, dominant wrestling style. I'm down with that. I'm not down with the jiu-jitsu as much anymore. I don't know. It's fascinating. All right, what else do we have, Jay?
According to MMA Mania, Ben Askren pleads with Kamaru Usman, and don't be a little bitch like Colby Covington.
Uh-oh.
He posted on Instagram a video today, and he tagged Usman saying, I know you hear me, hashtag UFC, hashtag UFC 231.
That doesn't even look like him. It's like Bob Ross.
Yeah. UFC welterweight contender Kamaru Usman, ranked number 3 in the official top 10, is being considered for a 170-pound title shot after disposing of Rafael dos Anjos last month on Fox Sports 1 in Las Vegas. Whether that shot comes against former interim title holder Colby Covington or reigning division kingpin Tyron Woodley remains to be seen, but the promotion president Dana White said he sounds like he's ready to pull the trigger on one of the two. Inexplicably, the Nigerian Nightmare foolishly chose the chance to win gold over the opportunity to have a cage wrestled off against one championship import Ben Askren, who is back on Twitter calling people names. It's kind of his thing. So, the video.
Right, let's see what he has to say. Did you watch? I didn't watch this. Did you watch it?
Go ahead and watch it.
All right.
Mr. Usman, we find ourselves in a situation where you are looking like quite the hypocrite. Now, as we all know, Mr. Tyron Woodley is injured, can't fight Colby. We know you want to fight Colby. We know Colby's a scared little bitch, and that's fine. But I have made my services available to you for a fight on January 26th. And now you're trying to play the same game as Colby is. Colby's ignoring you, now you're ignoring me. And listen, I know you hear me because you got a measly little 30,000 Twitter followers and a tiny amount of the social media following that I do. I know you hear me, Marty. So make sure you respond to this. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't be a little bitch like Colby.
Does he have a lisp?
I'll be there, January 26th. I hope you're there also.
He's like,
no, I think he's out in the cold.
Fuck?
For one, he's out in the cold, so your lips freeze. And 2,
he has a lisp.
No, he has an accent. He has like a weird.
What the fuck?
He doesn't have a
Hold
lisp.
on a second.
His
Let's do
lip
it.
isn't going into his teeth. He has no lisp.
Mr. Usman,
There's
we
no
find
lisp.
ourselves in a situation
You hear him?
That's not
where
a
you are
lisp.
looking like quite the hypocrite. Now, as we all
That's
know,
not a
Mr.
lisp.
Tyron Woodley is injured, can't fight Colby.
That's a fucking lisp.
That is not a lisp.
If I've ever heard one.
Go watch Zane Simon and then tell me that's a lisp.
That's a goddamn lisp. Anyway, why would Usman want to fight Ben Askren? We would want to see that, but why the fuck would Usman just beat RDA? He put himself in position for the Woodley fight. Woodley's not locked up with Covington yet. It's not a done deal. Woodley's miraculously getting hurt over and over and over again. Dana White probably wants to fucking off himself because of that. Why would Usman be like, okay, let me risk it and fight you?
Well, he doesn't. That's why he's not responding.
Yeah, I mean, it's starting to turn. It really is turning into the WWE. It really is.
You can't stop the
Oh, Ben Askren's here.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Look at that.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Hopefully he has his lisp.
So much for Irish loyalty. One MMA loss and SBG falls apart. Just goes to show you McTapper has nothing but leeches around him. Starting with that rat Danis. You can't learn wrestling in a year. This whiskey drunk is washed up. I want Marty excuse-man.
There you go. Ben Askren is talking smack on the MMA holes. Unbelievable. Should have read that with a lisp. All right. So there you go. All right. So he's calling out Usman.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with his fight with RDA?
There was never anything set.
Not RDA. I'm sorry. Robbie Lawler.
No, there was never anything set for Askren, for anybody.
Yeah, but it looked like that was going to be the done deal. It seemed like it made the most sense.
Yeah,
I'm wondering why that wasn't put together. So why do they bring this guy aboard to the UFC and nothing is?
Well, it was like a trade with the
yeah. So now he's here. We want to see him fight. Give him a fight.
I mean, look at his record. The guy.
Yeah, but give him a fight. What are we doing?
They're gonna give him a fight.
What are we waiting for?
We're 2019.
Listen.
That's
enough
what
is
we're
enough.
waiting for.
Announce a fucking fight.
Yeah, 2019.
You're not fucking like what is going on here? Like
you
all we're hearing is this guy
Dana
yap.
White plans fights months in advance.
He don't plan the fight. Sean Shelby does.
Oh, okay. Sean Shelby plans fights months in advance. It's not like he can just throw Ben Askren onto a card.
Yes, he can.
No, he can't. He needs.
So why
do
they sign him? So we can listen to him just yap?
Yeah, create a hype for Ben Askren so people
stop
are
it.
more excited to watch him fight.
I agree with Pulse. Should have kept DJ. He keeps his mouth shut and plays video games. Oh, I got to fight.
You don't even like the 125 division.
Yeah, but at least he keeps his fight. Listen, I want shit talking and then I want to see a fight. I want to shit talk to the fight. I don't want to shit talk to about a fight that's not even going to happen. It's so annoying. Like that's what we hear over and over and over again.
But Dana White's not promoting Ben Askren's shit talking. They're doing this on social media.
They signed a guy to the UFC,
no,
right?
it's just MMA
Give him a goddamn
media
fight.
that's catching this.
So you like this?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's not Dana White or even the UFC that's promoting this. They're promoting themselves on social media. What is the UFC supposed to do about that?
My question is, aren't you getting annoyed?
Of course, but what, you're going to stop him from posting shit on social media?
No, I'm not going to stop him.
So then
I'm going to say,
it.
just give him a fight. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. I don't care. I don't care what he has to say. I don't care what he has to say about Usman. Unless he's fighting Usman, then I care. Right? I mean, am I wrong here? Give the guy a fight. When did they signed him when? When did they bring him over to the UFC? That trade wasn't like the end of the summer or some shit?
That's a good question. I'm not
right?
Totally
They brought him aboard. Everyone's like, oh, Ben Askren's finally here. But he doesn't have a fight. Well, like, what are we doing? King Sword says, Chris is being a little bitch, but your name is King Sword. So, okay. King Sword. Let that sink in. All right, what else do we have in that chat?
All right. Well, we got a lot of news to get through. We've got 20 minutes left.
The fucking guy's name is King Sword. All right, what else do we have over here?
Okay, according to MMA News, Nina Ansaroff was insulted by Claudia Gadelha's pre-fight comments.
Ooh.
Nina Ansaroff was rubbed the wrong way by some pre-fight comments made by Claudia Gadelha. The pair squared off at UFC 231 on pay-per-view over the weekend in Toronto, Canada. Ansaroff picked up her fourth straight victory with a decision win over Gadelha. Prior to the matchup, Gadelha seemed very confident in her skill set over Ansaroff's. She went as far as saying, quote, "There's levels to this game," indicating Ansaroff wasn't on her level. However, Ansaroff's striking was too much for the Brazilian, and she suffered on the judges' scorecards. Now Ansaroff is making a case for a strawweight title opportunity with a victory over former 115-pound title challenger. Speaking to media after the fight, Ansaroff revealed she was insulted by Gadelha's levels comment. When it was all said and done, however, Ansaroff had the last laugh. She said, quote, "That was a little insulting to me because there are levels to this game. She couldn't do anything with my striking once she knew I could get up after she took me down. She couldn't take me down again after I got up in the second round, and I lit her up with my striking. So yeah, there are levels to this, and she couldn't figure mine out."
This one shocked the fuck out of me. It really shocked the fuck out of me. Now, it was close, right? But Ansaroff on the feet was doing work, piecing up Claudia. And I feel that Claudia really didn't take this too serious. Even when you were watching her be interviewed before these fights, she basically was like, yeah, I just took the fight because I wanted to get fights, you know. That's my sideboard, I guess. My Brazilian's getting crossed up. But she didn't seem too serious with it. She was like, yeah, I beat her up before I came into the UFC. I could beat her up again. But Ansaroff gets in there, and she got the win. I think she deserved the win. I really do. It shocked me. That wasn't the Claudia that I expected to be in this fight.
Yeah.
Now Ansarov is on like a 4-fight win streak or some shit. Out of nowhere, this girl looked like she was going to get cut. Next thing you know, she's beating Claudia Gadelha. What is going on? Unbelievable. Gadelha is saying she wants to go to an atomweight division. More divisions, yay. Shocked the fuck out of me. Absolutely. So credit to Amanda Nunez's Bay for getting the win.
Yeah.
Shocked the living snot out of me.
Oh, right. According to MMA Fighting, Khabib Nurmagomedov has been granted continuance in the Nevada Commission case. The UFC's lightweight title picture will be cloudy until at least early next year. Khabib Nurmagomedov had his Nevada State Athletic Commission case continued upon request and will not receive his sanctions related to UFC 229 post-fight brawl until January at earliest, Commission Executive Director Bob Bennett told MMA Fighting on Sunday night. The UFC lightweight champ was initially supposed to have a disciplinary hearing Monday in Las Vegas, but Nurmagomedov's legal team and the state were unable to come to an adjudication agreement before the monthly commission meeting. Bennett said Nurmagomedov's team requested a continuance if there was no set agreement before Monday's scheduled hearing. The next commission meeting after Monday is scheduled for January 29th. Per Bennett, and Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor's disciplinary hearings will likely be on that agenda. There is still the possibility of settled agreements with each. McGregor was granted a continuance in his disciplinary case. He also had a hearing originally scheduled for Monday last week. Nurmagomedov, we all know, jumped out of the octagon for the post-fight melee at UFC 229, which is why both Conor and Khabib are now being granted continuances.
There you go. Look. By the way, Pulse in the chat, we will be giving you your wrench for Not the MMA Holes. We'll go live on Thursday for you. Well, yeah, Thursday night. We'll try to get something going.
Yes.
So, yeah, shout out to Pulse, the patron that has his wrench for Not the MMA Holes. Yes. Real quick, I want to slip into this. Shout out to Pure Evil on this one. What's it called? The whole Mike Perry thing. Did you see this, Jessie?
I did not see this.
Yeah, look at this. Someone made reference to where is he? Is he Platinum something or some shit like that? Platinum. So someone made. Oh, hold on. Paige Van Zandt. Oh my god.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
Look out, Paige is here. Paige Van Zandt. Oh, he took it down.
Slurp, slurp. That's the sound of me sucking off my sugar daddy, Dana White. I just signed my new contract, which included new fake tits. I love being fifth in line to suck D. White's cock. I can still taste Claudia's and Ronda's saliva on White's cock.
Jesus Christ.
That's actually really Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah.
That is really, I can confirm, that's really Paige Van Zandt. Thank you, Paige, for the donation. Anyone wants to jump in tonight, make the MMA Horror Talk, link in the description, and you have the super chat. By the way, I just went over to Mike Perry's thing. He took the video down. Son of a fucking bitch. Son of a bitch. I'm so pissed off. I should have fucking saved it. So Mike Perry, he posted a video on Instagram. Apparently he got kicked out of the Platinum Princess's house. Right?
What?
Yeah, he got kicked out. Eddie actually did a video, so go check out Pure Evil.
What happened?
Yeah, Eddie played the video. Go check out on his channel.
He got kicked out?
He got kicked out. He was living with the Platinum Princess, the horse faces, as Colby Covington
He
wants
took
to
her
say.
back for her home.
Well,
he
listen
probably
to this.
didn't give a fuck.
Listen to why he got kicked out.
Why?
He got kicked out because he was liking girls' pictures on Instagram, and she said she didn't want him to like a specific girl's picture on Instagram or video on Instagram. So she's like, get the fuck out. And he's like, I'm a man. I can do whatever I want to do. I can do whatever I want to do. I'm a man. And then after he's in his car, he's like, I got a nice car. Look at my car over here. It's nice. But, you know, I'm a man. And no joke, that's what he was saying on his Instagram, right? With his shirt off, sitting in his car, living out of his car, right? And then at the end of the video, this is the best part of the video, and I can't believe he fucking pulled it down. I'm so pissed. I should have. This is the thing. When these fighters put these videos up, someone's got to. If anyone in the chat can find this video and put it on the MMAHoles.com, I'd love to fucking play it live. At the end of the video, he shouts out Ostrovich. He goes, yo, shout out to Rachel Ostrovich. Like, he's caught, like, shout out to her like he just wants to get with Rachel Ostrovich. Be the man for her. The woman that just got the shit kicked out of her by her husband or boyfriend or whatever. Fantastic video. Of course, his publicist is probably like, Mike, can you fucking take that video down, you lunatic? You have one fight left on your contract.
So is he homeless now?
Well, he was living out of his car in the video. Either the Platinum Princess took him back, and she's like, take the fucking video down, dickhead. Yeah, I couldn't even believe it.
This is fucking great. Check Platinum Princess's Instagram.
I don't think it's on there. He was calling her out. No, I don't think it's on there. But yeah, that's real shit. That is not a joke. That really happened.
Great.
The fucking guy is a lunatic.
That's great.
The guy that
That's great.
So, and please, the MMAHoles.com. Drop it on our message board if you could find that video. I'll suck you off afterwards. All right. That was a real story right there, Jesse.
Yeah.
What else you got?
All right. According to MMA Mania, Tyron Woodley says Robbie Lawler and Rose Namajunas get UFC injury pass, but I don't.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go, Jesse. Get ready. The race card. Here we go.
UFC President Dana White recently expressed his unhappiness with current welterweight champ Tyron Woodley, saying, quote, "It's always something with the chosen one when trying to get him to take a fight. That's because the promotion desperately wanted Tyron Woodley to headline UFC 233 on January 26th, opposite Colby Covington, though the 170-pound champ is unable to commit due to a busted up hand. According to Tyron, he never actually said no to competing at the event. All he asked of UFC was to have a few more days to get a doctor's visit in to get cleared, which could come as early as tomorrow. But what Woodley finds odd is that every other injured fighter seems to get a pass except for him, especially when he just defended his title 3 months ago, while some can sit out for a year with little to no criticism from the company. He said, quote, "If you really listen to what was said by Dana White, Robbie Lawler wouldn't mind more time because his knee needs more time to recover. That sounds like an exception and a pass given by Robbie Lawler. Rose Namajunas is not ready to fight because of her hurt neck. That sounds like a pass is given to her. I don't know if I'm misquoting what was said, but if I'm saying it correctly, Robbie Lawler tore his knee up in a fight against RDA."
Hold that thought. Joey Fagner says, "Why is that background black?" Look, he's upset. He's upset about the black background. If you listen on Podbean and iTunes, we have a picture of Tyron Woodley sitting in front of a black background. And that's why he looks mad in the picture, Jesse. Mm-hmm. That's why he's pissed off. It's not because, I mean, he has the belt next to him. He should be happy, right? No, he's upset because of the racist background. All right. Thank you, Joey Faggot. I appreciate that. I didn't realize that. I didn't notice that, but he pointed out, made a good point there.
He continued to say, "I don't know if I am misquoting what was said, but if I am saying it correctly, Robbie Lawler tore his knee up in a fight against RDA. How long has that been? So it's been a year, and I've had an ACL surgery, labrum surgery, and every time I have a major surgery, that can take 6 to 8 months to recover. I am being pressed to fight in 4 or 5 months, or to not get the surgery at all and just tough it out." To Woodley's point, while we're not picking on Rose and her very serious neck injury, which is why she is not fighting now that we know, the fact of the matter is there have not been talks of an interim women's strawweight title fight, despite Thug Rose not seeing action since April, with no clear timetable for a return in sight. To hear Tyron tell it, he wants to compete in Anaheim, California, but wants to make sure his hand is okay because should chaos upset him, it will only happen when he's not at full health. Should that happen, no one will take into consideration that his hand was injured, and Covington will move on and never grant him a rematch with all the bragging rights he can handle.
You know, he has a point with Rose. He does have a point with Rose. I'll give him that. You know,
well, they just said she has a serious neck injury.
Oh, yeah, from fucking Barry's gigantic cock, I guess. His horse cock.
I gotta say, if it's a neck injury, I mean that's a little more severe than a thumb. I would give it to Rose a little bit. I mean, you don't just start fighting with a neck. You can fight with a thumb injury, but not a fucking neck injury.
An injury is an injury. You can't. As much as I like to joke around about Tyron Woodley, an injury is an injury. It happens. He's getting a little older. You know, but it does seem like an awful lot of excuses here for Tyron. And if it wasn't for his past, you know, back and forths and bitching and complaining about racism and whatever he's complaining about, you know, it wouldn't be as much. You know, that is the problem. And constantly complaining to Dana White and Dana White giving him a pass. He'd be like, okay, you know, whatever. The problem with Dana is he just blatantly airs out his fucking
he doesn't
laundry.
give a fuck.
Yeah, that's not what he should be doing, Dana White. He should be shutting the fuck up, deal with his fucking champion on the side, not in front of TMZ or whatever. But Tyron should be shutting up too. They both should be shutting up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that for sure. But I gotta say, I agree that Dana White shouldn't be airing all of the behind the scenes dirty laundry between him and other fighters.
He's
and
like
the
a Yenta.
conversations they have. But I will give this. It's fucking entertaining to listen to. Because as an MMA fan, when I hear that shit, I'm like, oh, what's Tyron going to say back? And then Tyron says something back, and I'm like, oh, what's Dana going to say back? It's like, it's actually kind of entertaining. Like, it's not right. It's not appropriate as a promoter, but I enjoy listening to it. I think it's hilarious.
Trisky wants me to teach you how to pronounce Tyron. It's Tyron, not Tyrone.
Oh, sorry. Tyrone.
That's racist. All right, so Real said he dropped the video on the message board. Hold on. Let me go to the MMAHoles.com, or the greatest website in the world. Let's see if Real dropped it over there. I'll refresh this shite. Hopefully he has the Mike Perry video. If he does, he's a goddamn celebrity. I'll be passing this trophy into his vagina. All right, let's see. Let's scroll down. This is a show that needs to be saved. So with 5 minutes left in the game, drop a hefty donation and keep the show going. Yeah, it's not here. What is he talking about, Real Real?
Oh, well.
The MMAHoles.com, Real Real. How dare you interrupt our show? All right, what else do we have in the news?
According to BJ Penn, Dana White encourages Joanna Jedrzejczyk to go back to strawweight.
Oh, thank you. Oh, man, I tell you, what a beating.
Yeah.
I mean, Joanna, she showed up. She showed up in this fight. That's one thing about Joanna. How about Valentina taking her down multiple times? I like that. Valentina showing a well-rounded game. Valentina's a beast at 125. Tough to knock off.
Yeah.
But,
they're saying your Twitter is where the video is.
Oh, Twitter? Oh, I'm sorry. Real. I apologize to absolutely nobody. All right, let's see. Okay.
Make sure you show our amazing video while you're at it.
Our amazing video? Oh, here it is. Is this it?
I think so.
Let's see. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. Shout out to Real.
5 minutes long.
Now to give
is it 5 minutes
Christmas
long?
Present.
This fucking guy. Hold on. Is this a 5 minute? Oh my God. What the fuck? All right, hold on a second. No, this is just the beginning. All right, so yeah, this is the video that was taken down. Here we go. Shout out to Real.
I'm doing that because me and D seem to have maybe split up again on some childish shit. I know people in relationships will split up, get back together, split up, get back together. I know me and D had done that, and we had, had issues. But it was just so much confusion. I feel 9 fights into my UFC career in 2.5 years, and I'm like living out my car again. I have a nice car, but I got all my shit in my
that makes it all right. It's a nice car, so go for it. Live there.
Car. Is that gonna make me hungry to win a fight? Is all the love and comfort that I was getting being Danielle's bitch? She kicked me out, or we had a fight about. I don't know if she was wrong. I don't know if I was wrong. We had a fight about. I follow some on IG, some supermodel. She had nice pictures. Yeah, I followed the. And you asked me to unfollow her, and I was like, no. So we fought about it a little bit. I was like, you gotta give me some freedom.
What the fuck?
You gotta give me some freedom. Every man knows.
I was like, you gotta give me some freedom. I'm a man. I gotta be free.
What is he doing? This is a fucking UFC fighter here. What are you doing? You're a professional athlete. You're in your car with your shirt off. Now, felony don't even do this.
Or I should man up and just.
Wait, hold on. Is this a Florida thing? We got to get Felony on because Felony's boys. Is this a Florida thing? Anyone from Florida?
No,
Real's from Florida.
He's just trying to be a little like Felony. Well.
I mean, this is straight up. This is out of Felony's playbook, right?
Well, he hangs out with Felony. He was wearing glasses like Felony.
What the fuck? We got to get Charles back on. Charles, if you were watching this, can you explain your fellow Floridian? No.
I should man up and just go back. No, both of our pride is in the way. We both strong-headed, and we're not going to accept anything but what we feel we deserve. So I'm not complaining. I'm kind of low-key excited. I hope that this puts some fire under my ass.
He's excited about the car and the breakup. I mean, I'd be excited about the breakup, too, because honestly, the Platinum Princess isn't all that, Jessie. She really isn't. If you're into bestiality, maybe.
But it's a scary thing to be excited about losing, right? Or looking.
Imagine being dumped by a horse.
Like a loser. You can't be cool guy living in a fucking car. I mean, I'm going to go take care of that, though. I got some money. I can go stay anywhere I fucking want. But
what a class act.
I thought about Rachel Ostovich and all the shit she went through, and then it came public, and she just rolled with it, yo. And I think I might as well get on here and be like, Rachel, let me show you some things.
Look at this fucking guy. Now the woman got beaten to a pulp. And now he's like, yo, Rachel, you could take a punch. Let me show you some things.
We can teach each other. We come out to Hawaii, hang out with you, and we'll take over the UFC together.
What the fuck?
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Real. Appreciate that. Jessie, what are your thoughts? I told you I wasn't making this shit up. This is fucking real.
I'm not surprised coming from Mike Perry. Like, I'm not fucking surprised.
Oh my God, I fucking love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. 113 people watching. We are going to do Save the Show now. All right? Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen. The first donation that comes in, that denomination, we go on that much longer. I have a lot of fire in me. That's why we're on fire right now. I want a long-ass show. So if you got the bills, drop it in there and say, save the show. If you do $60, we got 60 minutes.
You can't stop the Siberian Express.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
He's only adding to the stereotype that black guys aren't faithful to their women. The platinum insecurity trying to control his life. Probably thinks about smashing Rachel Ostuh Fitchwell with the horse face one.
Wait a minute. Only adding to the stereotype that black guys aren't faithful to the... He's not even black. How is he adding?
Oh, he's black.
He's acting
no,
black?
Mike Perry's black. What are you talking about?
So, because he believes he's black, he's adding to the stereotype.
He is black, Jesse. Now remember, 4 minutes are on the clock. If you want more show, hit me with the ones in the chat. Will someone save the show? 3 minutes, 55 seconds. Denomination and the amount, whatever we'll say. All right, good. Jesse, what else do we have in the news? Let's squeeze in a story.
All right. Over the weekend in the co-main event of UFC 231, former UFC strawweight queen Joanna Jedrzejczyk came up short in a flyweight title fight with the fearsome Valentina Shevchenko. Having watched this fight, UFC president Dana White believes Jedrzejczyk is better suited for the strawweight division than she is for the flyweight division. He said, quote, "I love her. She's such a great fighter and such a good person. I actually consider her a friend. I want her to take some time off, go spend some time with her family, and then we'll get together and talk about it. But I'd like to see her stay at 115 pounds. While Dana White believes Joanna Jedrzejczyk should return to the 115-pound strawweight division, she seems content to stay at flyweight, where the weight cut is markedly less taxing." He said, quote, "This camp, I realized how it can impact your body, your brain, and your performance being on such a strict diet for so many weeks." By the way, this is Joanna. Or the weight cut. Definitely I want to protect myself, protect my body. But yeah, the other stupid thing is I want to do this one more time. That's it. One more time. We always give second chance to ourselves, and I want to do this. Although Joanna Jedrzejczyk seems to consider the flyweight division her new home, she does want to fight for the strawweight title once more, saying, quote, "I must do this for myself," and put dot on I. "I will drop one more time to the strawweight division, but I'm not getting younger, I'm getting older. And I've been in this business for 15 years, so I want to take care of my body."
All right. That was so boring. I'm so done with Joanna. Like, I like Joanna. She's fun, the boogie woman thing, but the boogie woman's gone. You know, it's kaput. It's it. Rose has stolen that. And now we don't really have that much anymore. And honestly, Joanna, it's just not the same. Yeah. It really isn't the same. The whole shtick that she had going for her is not the same. But hopefully she can ride off into the sunset. I mean, it looks like she's not going anywhere anytime soon. So we get more Joanna, but the question is, who do we see her fight next?
Yes.
That is a big question over there. I want the bogey woman back, man. I don't like this
Me too.
I don't like this, "Oh, thank you so much for fighting me. It was a good fight. I'm so sad, but I move on. You know, I go back to Poland. I walk into walls because I'm Polish. I eat with my ass because I'm Polish. But I go back and everything will be fine." 1 minute left on the clock, Jesse. Will someone save the show?
No.
All right. We're going to squeeze one more story in and then wrap this shit up if no one saves it. Remember, donation and say, save the show. Here we go, Jesse. Last story.
According to MMA Fighting, Max Holloway still believes Jose Aldo is the greatest featherweight ever, saying, quote, "I'm chasing him." Max Holloway returned to the octagon after a tough year to defend his featherweight belt in the main event of UFC 231 in Toronto and scored an impressive victory over previously unbeaten Brian Ortega on Saturday night, scoring the fourth straight TKO victory in featherweight title bouts, a run that includes 3-round stoppages over Jose Aldo and Anthony Pettis. Holloway refuses to embrace the title of the greatest 145-pound in mixed martial arts history. Aldo's reign in the featherweight division started under the WEC banner in 2009 when he stopped Mike Brown to capture his 145-pound gold. The Nova União fighter defended it a couple of times before being crowned the UFC title holder. Inside the octagon, Aldo ran the division with 7 title defenses between 2011 and 2014 before losing the gold to Conor McGregor. Asked what he still has to do to surpass the Brazilian and the best of all time in the division, Holloway says, just keep winning.
We got to save the show over here.
Save the show.
For 2 minutes. Yes.
All right. There we go. EPMD has just saved the show for another 2 minutes. Yes. You got it. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Look at that, Jesse. Thank you, EPMD, and everyone that donated tonight. Appreciate it. All right. So we'll go 2 more minutes. All right. So, Jesse.
Yes.
What else in this? So what do you think about Jose Aldo being the greatest 145er of all time?
I mean, it's a respectable mention, I think, and good on Max Holloway for it. You know, I was watching a pre-fight interview with Max Holloway.
Oh, hold on. Colby says, I don't give a fuck. It's John the Truth Gotti.
Saved the show.
Another
Celebrity.
save.
Mike Perry, Ted Bundy, Nicholas Cruz, all from FL. People avoid black neighborhoods for a reason. Imagine two whites like y'all decided to walk around Harlem at 1 a.m. It wouldn't be safe. That's not racism. It's truth. Avoid blacks.
Okay, so thank you, Colby Covington, with a nice racist donation. Appreciate that. And we just extended the show. There we go. We got it 7 more minutes now. Thank you so much for Colby Covington. Look at that. People want more MMA holes. So fuck it. Saving the show. 1 fook at a time. Not sure. Jesse, do you want to piggyback off of Colby's comments, or should we let that one go?
Let's let it go.
All right. We do not back all of the super chats or donations. They have their own minds, and they are interesting people. Jesse, what else do we have in the news?
All right, according to Bloody Elbow, Dillon Danis says they do Conor McGregor dirty by saying Max Holloway is the best featherweight ever.
I think this is a topic that we need to talk about. Who is the best ever at featherweight? This is something interesting. Jess, what do you got to say?
UFC featherweight champ Max Holloway put on a masterful performance against Brian Ortega Saturday night. The win marked his second successful title defense, which also earned him major praises and considerations as possibly the greatest featherweight fighter of all time. Holloway, however, himself refuses to accept such accolades just yet, saying, quote, I still believe the greatest featherweight of all time is Jose Aldo. When I'm 30 or 31 or his age, then you ask me if I'm the greatest featherweight of all time if I'm still here. One other individual who agrees with Holloway is Dillon Danis, who also made a point to remind people about his training partner, Conor McGregor. He posted on Twitter, quote, they do Conor dirty by saying Max is the best featherweight ever. He beat Poirier, Aldo, Mendez, and Max, and more. McGregor did defeat Holloway via unanimous decision when they first fought each other in 2013. Since then, the 27-year-old Hawaiian fighter had improved leaps and bounds, putting on a 5-year undefeated streak and setting records of his own. The Notorious, on the other hand, was not able to defend the 145-pound title after he won it against Aldo in 2015, forcing the UFC to strip it from him. He has not fought at featherweight since the win against Aldo.
All right, let's start this juicy conversation because I know this chat is going to be on fire about this.
Okay, start it with them for 2 seconds. I have to pee. I'm going to pee my pants.
Go pee your pants. 20 likes. Well, hold on. Before I play that, in the chat, I want to know who is the greatest featherweight of all time. Jose Aldo stayed on there. He was the only one. Conor McGregor knocks him off the throne, and then he bounces. And then Max Holloway comes in and pretty much takes out the weight class and sits at top with a title defense, 2 title defenses. So, and he beats Aldo twice. So a lot of things to talk about at 145. It's basically 3 guys. Who is the greatest featherweight of all time? Let me know in the chat. 20 likes. 20 likes. 20 likes. There is a lot of things to take into consideration here, okay? Max lost to Conor. He did lose when he was younger, so you can kind of give him a pass, and he beat Aldo twice. Aldo lost to Conor, and Conor beat Aldo in 13 seconds. There's a lot of things here. If you go by wins, if you go by who beat who, you can make a fucking damn good argument who Conor beat and ran through quickly. Now, Max longevity was fantastic, but Aldo has been a champion the longest. So it's very difficult to choose for me who is the greatest. But you know who I'm going with. You know who I'm going with. Conor never defended case close as Nate R. So a defending is the reason for you. Give Max a money fight. Duffy, Joseph Duffy, Dennis Bermudez, Artem Lobov. Well, you know what? I can't argue that one. Max or Conor. Moss, the type of guy that pay a credit card and tell the cashier who's Nate Ali, the comedic genius guy. It's the same dumb jokes.
I don't think so. I've been paying. I don't think it is. Nah.
God, he's so annoying. Aldo number 3. Artem. And what is your ranking? That's what I want to know. What's your top 3? Who would be your ranking? Aldo says Vlad. I can't argue Aldo. I can't. Aldo, I mean, was the greatest champion at 145. How many times did Aldo defend? You know, if you want to go with defenses, you got to go with Aldo then, right? There's so many things, but Conor beat them all.
Yeah.
He beat Holloway. He beat Aldo. He beat them all.
Mm-hmm.
So at 145, honestly, I don't see anyone beat. He beat Mendez. He beat, who else did he beat over there? Poirier. I mean, you know, his list is not long, but it's who he beat and how he beat them. It's tough to argue. It's an interesting debate. Jesse, who would you pick? The 145 GOAT. You got a lot of things to play. I mean, you got the longest champ. You got the most impressive run.
If we're going by Dillon Danis' logic, I could see why he would say Conor McGregor. I do think Max Holloway, if you don't declare him the GOAT, is right fucking there. Like, he's on his way up. Aldo is...
Well, to answer, and hold on one second, Dinner Dog, to answer your question, it's greatest of all time. Greatest featherweight of all time. A weight class that hasn't been around forever. You know, so Aldo was pretty much the guy for the longest time. But go ahead.
I lost my train of thought.
I just wanted to answer, but go ahead.
It's cool. It's cool. Go ahead.
You said based on what? Well, who would you say?
I don't know. I can't fucking, I don't know.
You don't know?
I wouldn't.
You got to pick somebody.
No, I'm not going to.
The greatest of all time featherweight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she's not picking. Shout out to Mexico. Jose, what's up? Jose! All right, we got 1 minute and 17 seconds left on the clock. We can do one more save the show. We never really do that. We can do one more save the show. She don't want to do it, but if you want to drop it in last second, we'll keep it going. If not, we shut it down. We'll be live again on Wednesday night. Fight week, Iaquinta versus Kevin Lee. Fantastic fighter rematch. We just watched the first one over again, and it was an interesting fight. A lot of things back and forth from both those guys. Al won the fight, but it was watching a young Kevin Lee make his UFC debut. He looked pretty damn good.
Yeah.
He looked pretty damn good. Jesse had enough, so don't save the show.
Why do you do that? You make me look like a horrible person. Like I don't want to be here.
I kind of didn't, but okay. You just yawned, so I said you don't.
But that doesn't mean anything. I always yawn.
It means everything. Kenny Florian says Daniel R. Kevin Lee will. Let's see what the chat says over here as we wind this shite down. Thank you for joining us. 115 people watching. If you're not subscribed, give us a sub because this is the greatest show on YouTube. The MMA Holes. Jess, chat room. Oh, hold on. Mark, what would Moss do?
Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers. Choo-choo, motherfuckers.
All right, let's see what Moss would do.
Saved the show. Would you rather never watch an MMA fight again? Or lick McTapper's asshole after he skeets on your face to watch MMA again? If not, White cuts you off for life.
Okay. Jess, what would I do there? What do you think would be my choice?
I think he would lick McTapper's asshole after he skeets on your face so that you could watch MMA again.
Of course. I mean, why would I not want to watch MMA again? Then I wouldn't have a show, right? So that's the obvious answer. All right, 2 more minutes on the clock. Thank you. Appreciate that donation. Not sure what's wrong with you people, but that's what makes this show great, right, Jesse? By the way, Kamaru Usman was on. He was a last-minute guest on Ariel's show, and he was on fire. If you missed it, watch that back. Really interesting. This dude is like, I had enough. Kamaru just gave up. He's just like, I fucking had enough. Let's go. Enough's enough. Let's fight. I don't want to talk anymore. I want to fight. It was a fired up Usman, which I'm looking for. That's what I want to see. I want this Usman. I want him fired up. I want him hungry. I want to see Usman Woodley. I want to see that. That's the fight I need. I need that fight. I want to see those two just go on it. BBC versus BBC. Who's the better wrestler? Who's got the hotter hands? That's what I want to see. Now, Colby Covington, listen, I like Colby. I really do. I enjoy Colby's shtick. You know, he sells the fight, so good for him. You know, and he's on an impressive run. But if that fight can't happen, Woodley, give me the Usman fight, right? Marty Usman, right? I would rather see Colby Ben, Usman versus Woodley. Though that's what I would rather see. Sign me up for that. I'm in. I'm completely in. Now, I understand why Woodley wouldn't want Askren because he's technically the interim champ. You know, he technically is. But listen, you couldn't fight when you were supposed to fight, you know? That's what I want to see. What would you like to see at 170?
I don't know.
You don't know a lot tonight, do you?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Well, who would you prefer at 170? Tyron Woodley's up top as the champion. There's no wrong answer, really.
Well, I know that, but it's a question of who I would want to see.
How about Woodley versus Askren? Friends,
No.
BFFs going at it.
Honestly, I'd like to see Colby Woodley just because of all of the shit that's going on, but Colby just doesn't do it for me. You know, like
Really?
he just doesn't. And unless he gets that title, unless he wins that title, which I don't think he. I think Woodley would retain the title. Everybody's gonna forget about Colby.
Wow. That's a way to end the show, Jessie.
Well, it's true.
Wow. That is a way to end the show. The show is over. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll be live again on Wednesday. Check out our second channel, Not the MMA Holes. Link in the description. We'll be gaming on there. And JBH has a channel as well. Thank you for joining us. We got one more donation coming in, and it is a Tucker Bailey. So we'll wait on that. Super chat.
Super chat.
Just dropping a deuce. Thank you, Tucker. Appreciate it. Jesse, talk to the people.
U2 Norton is a moron. Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.
Human.